Today we're looking at Nightsshade and trying to guess the rank of their Sombra. They requested this review directly on my Google form, where they wrote, "What could I have done to do more and win? What did I do well?" Okay, well, you did submit this as Guess My Rank, so that's mostly what I'm going to be trying to do here, but I'll try to give you some tips as they come up, so we'll get right into it. First thing we always want to do is take a look at our team comp. So we got Diva, Sombra Hanzo, Lifeweaver Ana. Okay, you could think about working with your Diva. You know, you could also play some angles, try to get some picks solo. One thing you do have to pay attention to is that they do have a Sombra on the enemy team. You don't necessarily know that right now, but that's something to pay attention to. In Sombra v Sombra matchups, it can often be a game of chicken where you're both staying invisible, waiting for the other one to make a move. So you want to be careful about going too deep because, say you go after their Ana, there's a good chance that their Sombra could be camping the Ana and just waiting for you to uncloak so she can kill you. So like I said, be careful about overextending. If you see their Sombra going into your backline, you could think about implementing that play style I just said yourself. You know, camp your Ana, kill the Sombra as she attacks her. Otherwise, you could just be thinking about frontlining, working with your Diva as I originally said. Nice. Yeah, so you recognize the Ana was half. You didn't even hack her. You just led with the virus and killed her. That's really good. Especially when we look at Sombras in low ranks. And this is even something I was having a little bit of trouble with when I started with Sombra. You always think you got to lead with the hack. But oftentimes, unless it's somebody with a big movement ability that you have to keep grounded, like Mercy or something, it's usually better to just lead with the virus and shoot them without hacking. Because, that hack is time that they realize you're there while you're not damaging them. It gives them more of a chance to react. So yeah, my point is I like that you didn't lead with the hack there because you recognize that you didn't need to. Think about angles you can take. You don't just want to shoot into the Diva matrix. I like controlling up here. I don't necessarily think we needed to hack this health pack just because, that the fight's not taking place up here. That was just time we were spending away from the battlefield. I think what you're doing now is great. I would have liked to just see you do that to begin with instead of even, taking your time to hack that. Hacking Diva as she extends is really good because that takes away her defense matrix and it allows you guys to demech her. So very good job there. Escape from the Sombra. She hacks you. I wouldn't even lead with the virus unless you know for sure where the Sombra is. But anyway, this is Guess My Rank. I like your game sense so far. Little things here or there that we could do better, of course. But yeah, I'm going to say you're probably plat. Yeah, this is fine. You can push behind your Diva. Just be a little careful because you're out in the open. It's easy to focus you down. Yeah, I wouldn't even be focusing the Diva here. I'd be trying to take an angle and see where your Diva's focusing. It's usually better to not just hang out main as Sombra, but this is fine. You guys have control. You guys are pushing them back, so just in general, see how you're just kind of, you're hacking Diva. You're only getting her to half. You're trying to shoot her. She's using her defense matrix. Okay, so we just invested EMP. And, we weren't in range of anyone on the enemy team. We literally just got the Diva, and she was basically demeched anyway. Yeah, that, you definitely got to make sure you're getting multiple people with that if possible. The other thing, too, is you want to pay attention to where the enemy team is and, how engaged they are. See how they're still, they're still kind of in the getting ready phase. You guys back them up. You did a good job doing that. They're still regrouping and getting ready for the next push. I know their Diva's kind of overextended, but we did not need the EMP to punish that. We were probably going to demech her anyway. So just think about, think about the targets and think about the timing of your EMP. You really want to wait until like you can get multiple enemies and they're all really committed in a fight and your team can capitalize on it. Eva gets a big bomb now. Nice. So one thing you could think about too is just back up a little bit in those duels. It can be a little bit easier to land your shots and get the kills quicker. As you climb up in rank, that'll matter a lot more, but I mean, you still got the kill here. Good job. Yeah, I'd say this is probably like low plat, high gold. They're making a couple mistakes. I mean, everybody does, but overall, like game sense wise, I feel like you seem to have a pretty solid understanding of like duels to take, where to go, and things we need to clean up. See, you're going around. You're thinking about going for the Ana or the Widow. Yeah, just go after the Ana. Perfect. So Ana's a little funny because I know you just tried to, you didn't hack her. You just tried to virus and damage like you did before. Ana's, it's kind of tough because if they can just turn around quick and land the sleep dart like she did, you could be put in a tough situation. I mean, obviously you escaped here. But yeah, I think that if Ana's are a little bit more skilled and you think they can like land that sleep dart quick, it might be better to lead with the hack just to ensure that they can't get that out and you can try to kill them a little faster. This is fine. You got a little bit more distance. You got to watch out for the Kiriko too. Kiriko is not a very good duel for Sombra. As Samito put it, Kiriko does DPS better than Sombra herself. So, yeah, just I wouldn't even bother with her. I'd be going after, like, if we look at the targets. Ana's decent. Widowmaker, you can farm Widowmaker. Soldier's pretty good. And like we were doing before, Diva, if she's really pushing into your team and you're with them too. You can punish her pushes. You hack her. That's good. You just get right in the face of the Widow. She put her sights up, so you don't want her to, what was I going to say? You don't want her to, like, turn and see you and then get the shot, so taking her out of the fight is really good. But I'd like to see you be a little bit more active. Try to find your next target as quickly as possible. You should hear the Ana. Yeah, so you walked like straight into her there. You definitely could have heard the audio of her footsteps. I want you to pay attention to that. Because the last thing you want to do is uncloak or reveal yourself to an enemy as Sombra as they're looking right at you. Yeah, you can farm this Ashe. Yeah, same thing. Slow down a little bit. When you're leading with the virus, you have time to stop and aim it as you're invisible. So I want you to take advantage of that. Being a little inactive here. Once again, like, just if you find yourself caught in a room, I want you to just use your translocator, get out, move somewhere. Try to avoid using your translocator, actually, unless you absolutely need to, but even if you take the anti there, you're not taking any damage. Wait for your invisibility to come back. You could even like throw your translocator right at the ground just to get the invisibility back quicker. But my point is, I just want to see you do things to get more active and not just, not be doing anything for periods of time like that. Because we might have been able to do something a little earlier, but at this point, it's too late. They've pushed the payload up and they capped. And I like how you recognize, your team's not here. There's no point in touching. And you're not doing it. Very smart by you. Okay. I understand that. You know, you want to farm up. You're at 96%. You know you're not going to get a kill there, but you just want to farm up a little bit of an ult charge to make sure you have that ult for the next fight.
Really much better.
So yeah, smart play so far. I'm going to say like plat 5 is my my guess. Okay, so another EMP. Where's our team? They're all the way over here. They're not engaged whatsoever. At least not with the people you EMP'd. You know, Diva's up there. The Divas are battling. Yeah, you uncloaked. You led with the virus on the Ana, and then you just decided to EMP. So I want you to slow down a little bit. Once again, use EMP. If you're going to do it on multiple enemies like that, you got to do it when your team is pushed up and they're engaged, and they can really capitalize, you know, on the increased damage and lack of enemy abilities. So really, really think about the timing here. Because as we can see, you know, you weren't really able to get a kill here. Diva is able to get a 2-man bomb, but I think she probably would have got that anyway. Right there, you know, you guys demech the Diva. No need to hack, just shoot. Nice try. Yeah, mechanics can use some work. I don't really coach on that, but yeah, you do seem like you for the most part really know what you're doing. At least on this hero. You want to be a little bit careful though about, you know, engaging a bunch of enemies at once. Because like if they all turn around, like especially, you know, let's actually back that up. Where are you engaged? Yeah, you guys are right here. The enemy team, like your team isn't quite in a position. Like, you know, Hanzo's kind of shooting, but other than that, like your team's not really quite in a position to engage as you distract. So what's going to happen is everybody's going to turn around and just go after you the moment you uncloak. And oftentimes, especially like in higher ranks, if like 4 or 5 people are all looking at you as Sombra the moment you uncloak, you might die before you have a chance to escape. So just something to think about. If you're gonna uncloak and farm some ult charge or try to pick off a target, it's better to wait as the teams are really pushed up and actively engaged in a fight.
Life protects life.
Like, see, this is a lot better. Now, like, you know, your Life Weaver used the ult, Diva's pushing in. You're doing damage, and your team follows up and finishes the kill. So that right there is the difference in the engages, you know, engaging between fights versus engaging here when, you know, your team is actively involved and can help you. I don't even think you needed to translocate out. You took a little bit of damage, but Diva was right there pushing into people. I know that's the instinctual thing as Sombra, you know. You go in, you get a kill, you translocate out immediately. But especially in situations like that where you guys kind of have the advantage and, you know, your team is, like your tank is pushing up, taking the attention. Pay attention to that because then you don't necessarily need to escape yourself. Because once again, this is leading to more inactivity. It's fine because we're cleaning up, but
You're welcome.
yeah, let's wait for our next engage. Yeah, once again, kind of between fights. You're very exposed. You weren't even like in their sight lines for very long, and you're already 66 HP just because you had a few enemies looking at you at once. Want to pay attention to that. Yeah, I'm gonna say like high gold, like maybe gold 2, gold 1. Little things with these engages and like the mechanics and like things I see the enemies doing as well. Solid. Nice. You get the kill. Once again, as the enemies have pushed up and engaging, you take the soldier's attention away, so he's focused on you, and you also won the 1v1 as well, so good job.
Much better.
30 seconds complete. Gotta go.
It's a little risky to... a little bit risky to translocate right there, so let's back that up.
Much better.
30 seconds complete.
I think I said I was mostly just going to try to guess your rank, but this is mostly turning into a VOD review. All good, though. So we translocate right up here. You know the enemy team is right here pushing card, and you've basically just positioned yourself right in front of them after using your escape ability. So you're stuck here. A little bit tough. I probably would have just, just used your invisibility and gone behind them and then waited for the next fight. Because now you're, like I said, you're right in front of them. You don't have a way to escape. The other thing, too, is you're focusing the Zarya, which, she just bubbles and negates your abilities. It's better as Sombra is, Zarya is probably the worst tank matchup for you. And I would just not focus her at all. And definitely not dump your abilities into her unless, like, your whole team is focusing her. Because as you can see, she'll just cleanse or negate them with her bubbles. And then you die.
Catch you later. Apagando las luces.
They're moving the payload.
Yeah, you kind of solo ulted the Genji there. So, yeah, I feel like your game sense is good. Mechanics are okay. You're doing decent as far as that goes. But like, yeah, these EMPs are a little sussy. I'm not gonna lie.
I've got you in my sights.
Yeah. In those situations, honestly, like if your team's struggling, it might be better to just go for damage and just try to farm up your next EMP as quickly as possible instead of like leading with the hack. Because you're probably not going to get much done otherwise. Get out of there. Ready to re-engage. So who can we focus here? They made a couple swaps. They got the Zarya, like we said. Kiriko, they got Moira instead of Ana. Yeah, Soldier's definitely a good target. Yeah, you could go after the Genji too. Be careful of the Kiriko. And Moira, Moira is... You can kind of avoid her unless you see her use her fade. Like, if you see her, like, engaging your team and then fade into the backline to escape, that might be a good opportunity to pounce on her.
Somebody call.
Yeah, Kiriko's a little tough, but it's fine.
Hack complete.
Okay.
60 seconds.
Think about how you're going to re-engage.
Thank you.
Did I scare you?
Yeah, once again, out of the people you can focus here, Kiriko might not be the ideal target. If you find like everybody's really grouped up, for one, you either want to wait until your team is a little bit more actively engaged and push up, as we said before. The other thing too is if you're having trouble like isolating a target, you could also think about just like frontlining and playing behind your team. Well, not frontlining, but like, playing behind your tank. Like in a traditional DPS way.
Stop that payload or suffer.
Feeling much better.
Life protects life.
Nanoboost administered. 30 seconds.
Yeah, think about your intention with the hack. Once again, it looks like you hack Zarya. Yeah, Zarya is not a good hack target at all. Like we already said. The other thing too is if these battles are in these active fights, sometimes it might be better to just virus and damage. Try to get the damage out as quickly as possible. It's okay.
Thank you.
Team effort there, we win the fight.
10 seconds. We're almost there.
Cool. Yeah, definitely got to work on your EMPs. Just a little things with your engages and your activity, like we said before. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing how this goes. Okay, so we're going Widow. This should be interesting.
2, 1. Attackers incoming. Escort the payload.
More payload.
Yeah, so don't just wait. You always want to be moving and rotating. Big, I remember Kenzo said this a long time ago. Try to do the 3-shot rule with Widow. You know, shoot 3 times, then think about repositioning. You don't want to just be sitting here waiting to see if an enemy might poke out somewhere. You want to be constantly rotating, scouting, trying to figure out where people are, then take some angles where you can snipe them. Like, especially, like, your Tracer already got a kill, so that should tell you you could be a little bit more aggressive. You guys have a numbers advantage. Yeah, you go for the trick shot. Nice try. Yeah, Hog's not a good target for you. Yeah, same thing. See, we're waiting. We're setting up here, and we're waiting to see like where an enemy might poke out instead of scouting where they are. Like, you're fine here. You know, I understand if you want to wait a little bit until like your grapple comes back, but especially once you have that back, or even now, you know, if you know the enemies aren't like looking in this way, you can still like poke out, scout, figure out where they are. Like, see, like if you were just right over here, you'd have a clear shot of like the Ana, the Kiriko, instead of just like hanging out, waiting in these corners, not necessarily knowing where people are. I just want you to think a little bit more about rotating and scouting, because you'll find opportunities a lot easier. Yeah, based on this, what I'm seeing so far, I would definitely say this is probably mid gold max.
Strike from above. Are we moving the payload?
Seems like we weren't really as sure what to do on Widow as we were on Sombra, at least. But I do like how you're trying to take this angle. Try to get some shots out. Be a little bit careful about hanging out in the same place too long. Yeah, I was just going to say, if you just hang out in the same spot a little bit too long as Pharah, you will get sniped out of the air like that. And just like if you're playing a hero that plays on the ground, you can still think about playing like tight to walls, corners, having cover you can duck behind as you shoot. Especially, you know, they recently nerfed Pharah's HP too, so last thing you want to do is just be like out in the open for an extended period of time and then everybody just focuses you down. And especially in like metal ranks as Pharah, everybody's gonna be thinking to counter you the moment they see you.
Take it off.
This week on the page.
Think about repositioning.
Ready for duty.
Fire some shots out. Wait for your team though to... Yeah, I want to see you be a little more aggressive. You could even, like, instead of flying, like, right out in the open, like we said, where everybody can focus you down. I mean, it's a little bit better now that your team's pushing up, but even so, you could think about, like, taking these angles where you can get a little bit, you know, less exposure to everybody, and really just think about, like, targets you can really just focus down while keeping yourself safe from other people. Like, see how you're right in the open, the Ana just focuses you down. You don't really, you want to try not to, especially in Ana, you want to try not to expose yourself to her unless she's the one you're focusing. That's nice. Yeah, nice try. Once again, you went right out in the open, right where everybody could see you, and your ult turned into a trade. That often happens as Pharah, but you'll see, and I'm sure this has happened to you plenty in your games when you go against Pharahs. They'll often try to be very sneaky about their ult. They'll try to catch somebody by surprise. Even if like you snuck behind the Ana and solo ulted her, that would be really good to do. So try not to just go right out in the open and telegraph your ult like that if you can. We can try taking this angle. Yeah, we're having a little bit of trouble, like, aiming the rockets, too. Once again, it seems like you're not super comfortable on it. Not super comfortable on this character the way you were, like, with Sombra. But yeah, I want to see you out at, like, I want to see you taking, like, angles, like, closer to cover, and also being up in the air. That's, like, if you're just going to play, like, right on cart like this as Pharah, there are so many other heroes that that can do that better. I want to see you like up in the air and also just trying to take some angles instead of out in the open on the ground. Like, this is not where I'd like to see you. See how the Ana's just freely shooting at you? Yeah, and because you're just very exposed, you're a prime target for everybody to focus down, you die. It's very interesting. I'm not sure why, like, you didn't just stick with the Sombra. Maybe it's like, you know, you see their team, you know, they got a Mei, they got a Hog, you're thinking, okay, you know, Pharah would be good to counter, but it's not just about, like, who counters who, it's also about who you personally are comfortable at. And like I said, it doesn't seem like you're as comfortable in Pharah as you are in Sombra. Like, your Sombra, I would say that's probably like, you're probably like low plat, high gold overall. The Pharah, though, I'd say that's like, this kind of seems like more silver level gameplay, to be honest with you. But once again, I kind of chalk that up to, I feel like you don't play Pharah that much. Okay, nice try. So yeah, on your Sombra, I definitely want you to be more active. I want you to think about, you know, think about your engages. Try to, like, you know, try to attack people, and especially try to EMP, like, on the enemy team as they're, like, actively pushed in to your team and they're fighting, because you'll be able to create more distractions. You'll be able to create openings for yourself and for your team. And you'll just overall be more effective. And we, like I said, we definitely want to work on those EMPs and think about who we're going to get, what it's going to accomplish. But we already talked about that. Beyond that, on Widow, I just want to see you be a little bit more, you know, just move a little bit more, spend less time, like, just holding an area, seeing if some enemy may pop out of a certain area. I really want you moving and trying to figure out where people are and where your openings are. And then Pharah, I want to see you, you just use the air more. Don't hang out in the open. Try to use walls. Try to have some cover, even in the air. And yeah, just in general, play heroes that, you know, you have a lot of time on, that you feel really comfortable with. It might be better to take some time if you're trying to branch out, if you're trying to play more Widow, if you're trying to play more Pharah. Practice a little bit more in quick play and arcade before you take them to comp. Because I feel like this game, like, especially if you had stayed Sombra, I feel like this game was very winnable for you. But yeah, I'm going to say overall gold 3 is my final answer. So let's see. Let's see, your gold 5 is the rank reveal. Okay, so I was pretty close. Yeah, nice job. Let me know if you have any questions. If anyone would like to request a VOD review, check the link in the description, and best of luck with your climb.